All right, well, thanks for coming out. And a week ago at this press conference, I was certainly very critical of our football team. In regards to things that don't take talent, effort, intensity, those type of things that I thought we did a poor job in the Ohio game with. But certainly after Temple, I didn't have any of those feelings. I thought our guys competed extremely hard. And what happened is we had a great week of practice. Guys prepared well. Played with great effort on the field, and you have to do those things to give yourself a chance to win. And we certainly gave ourselves a chance to win, and fell up a play short. So we executed pretty well most of the game. We just made too many big mistakes. Obviously, the 80-yard pass that we gave up, and the drop snap that resulted in a touchdown. Those are tough plays to overcome against a good football team, and Temple certainly is I think, going to be one of the better teams in the Mid-America Conference this year. And I mean, they're a quality opponent. So they did some good things, but I thought overall our guys played well. And unfortunately, that's becoming a little bit too much of a common theme this year, that we've lost 3 games this year on the final play of a game. The Troy game, their field goal, Buffalo, our missed field goal, and now Temple. And it's really the reverse from a year ago. Last year we certainly won the Buffalo and the Kent game in the last play of the game, and the Troy game and our rival game were tied late in the fourth quarter, and we found ways to win those games, and that's a 4-game swing for the positive, and now this is a 3-game swing for the negative. So the bottom line is we didn't make those plays, and that's why we are where we are. And we need to find a way to make those plays and get over the top and win some of those games. So, we're certainly not happy with our record, but I thought last week we made some real positive strides. And now the key is that can't be a one-week deal. We practiced in a way last week that we deserved to win, but we need to practice that way every week. And so I think that's our challenge just moving forward, is we just continue to practice at a high level. Get the guys to show up with energy and emotion on Saturday, and when we do that, we'll at some point find ways to win football games. Just a couple of other things I want to bring up. That we've had an open competition this week for our PAT field goal job. Brian Wright is no longer going to be handling the PAT field goals. He's done a great job all year of punting the football. He's done a great job of our kickoffs, putting a number into the back of the end zone. We've struggled with field goals, and I think his burden right now is a little too much. He does a great job with it in practice. It just is not carried over. And this week, Kyle Burkhart and Steven Stein are competing for that position. And yesterday it was dead even. Those two were clearly 2 and 3 coming out of camp. That our PAT field goal job in camp was open. Brian Wright was clearly 1. Steven Stein and Kyle Burkhart were tied for 2, and those 2 will get most of the reps this week. And just another thing, and I just want to address it because I'm sure there's going to be a question about it, but I met with Robert Lorenzi earlier today, and he has been dismissed from the football program. These are always hard decisions. I just felt that he no longer should have the privilege of representing Bowling Green on the football field. And all of these cases are individual cases that you look at them, everything involved, what happened, but in this case there was just a pattern behavior that I was not comfortable with, and because of that he will no longer be representing Bowling Green on the field, and that's where we are with that. So if there's any questions?
Well, considering your depth concerns on your team, how big a loss is it when you lose a guy like Lorenzi?
It's brutal. Like I've said this before, you can't have discipline and only apply it when it's convenient. And our depth and our numbers right now are lower than at any point I can remember, even when I worked at the FCS level, where your limit was 63. We're really thin, but that was a decision that he made.
What are the corners in? Will be Spencer and Truss? to start, hopefully?
Jack, you got some eligibility left? We'll get you out there backpedaling today.
No.
No, we'll be fine. Adrian Spencer will start, and he's started a lot of football games here. And Andre Davis has really had a couple good weeks of practice and was kind of pushing for time. And so those two will get out there, and they practiced really well yesterday, and they'll be ready to go. And you know, I don't expect to have Cam Truss this weekend, but we're hopeful that he won't be out that long. You know, but that does make it tougher, that you're short at corner with the guy injured, and then the other starter goes out and does what he does. But you know, again, that was his decision.
About the kicking situation, when do you expect that you'll make a decision on that?
Well, I'd like to make it today. I mean, we went out yesterday and we met with them on Sunday and said they'll compete for the job this week. And yesterday we gave them all the same kicks, and you know, we chart every one, and it was dead even. And the same opportunities, both made the same amount of kicks. So you know, you don't root against anybody, but you'd love it if one guy went 5 for 5 and the other guy went 1 for 5, and you'd say, okay, we got our decision. And yesterday they were both, I think they were both 4 of 5. So.
And it sounds, if I'm reading what you're saying correctly, you're saying this is a decision that's made in part to kind of lessen the burden on Brian. He was doing too much in the game.
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, we haven't hit the percentage of field goals we need to hit. And earlier in the year, the Troy game, you know, we struggled punting the football. And I said, everything I've seen at practice from Ryan Wright, I believe that will improve. And it clearly has. I mean, he is punting the ball very well and flipping field position and doing all the things we need him to do. And he's doing a great job on the kickoffs. I mean, we've had more touchbacks this year than I've ever had in my career with kickers. The amount of times after a critical score that he puts the thing in the end zone and they start on the 20-yard line has been great. You know, for whatever reason, the PAT field goals, and in practice he is money. I mean, that thing is high and tight and looks great, but you know, you keep hoping that would change in the games, and it's probably, if anything, gotten a little bit worse. I mean, we've, you know, last week we missed an extra point, we missed a field goal before the half. You know, it certainly, to some degree, impacted my decision to go for too late. You know, we've missed some kicks. And, you know, we're over half the season into it, and we've met with him, and it does. I think doing all three has taken a toll on him. And he's doing the other two so exceptionally well that we just want him to focus on those two and take that burden off him. And obviously the reason for it is we hope to get better at kicking the field goals, because we have not hit the percentage of those that we need to hit.
Dave, you
Both those young men are walk-ons, then? Is that correct? Stein and Burkhardt?
Correct.
Is that a reflection of how things are with your depth, the fact that you have 2 scholarship kickers and then a third young man that you tried there, that you have to go to a walk-on?
No, I would say sometimes with kickers and punters, I don't know if that's unusual. I don't think it's unusual a lot of times for, you know, the kickers and punters to maybe come as walk-ons and the guy that wins the job gets rewarded. You know, I think it's more unusual that we were starting 2 walk-ons in the secondary. That's a little bit more reflective of depth. It is not generally a position that you're going to draw a lot of walk-ons at, and we had 2 walk-ons starting for us back there. And again, both those guys are playing. The 2 guys that are walk-ons starting for us, Javon Laycock and Cameron Truss, are playing at a very high level. And if they continue to do the things right in our program and off the field, I mean, they're going to be rewarded. Because I think those guys are scholarship and MAC level players and can be very good players for us. But you know, that's, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's, you know, we're thin, and but we have guys. If we play with great effort, I think we give ourselves a chance to win, you know, every game.